Going on to the CSS, so this is what I shall be doing. I'll be mainly focusing on stylings using CSS. So like inside our index HTML, if you look on line 28 and 29, I've linked up to our two style CSS files that I have. So first of all, I'm going to design using the desktop view. So for starting for the desktop view, okay, I'm going to start off by styling our container. This is the one that wraps up everything. Let's display flex background color RGB 255 255 this is 255 margin to the top. Let's move it away from the top by 3%. Margin to the left, I want it to be auto, set to the middle, then margin to the right as well. I'm going to set it to auto, then border radius, let's give it 10 pixels. Box shadow, let me give it 20 pixels, 20 pixels, 20 pixels. RGBA, I'm going to use RGBA values for the box shadow. Let me set this one to 14, and then I'll give this one as well as another 18. Then let's give this one 0.0 opacity 0.1. Width I'm going to set it to 1000 pixels. Then height 568 pixels. So let's take a look at how the design now looks like. There you can see it's taking shape just like we are expecting. So I need to continue styling. After styling this one, I'm going to style the display step, this class name. Let's display flex and justify the content to the center. And then width, I'm going to give it 274 pixels. Height 568 pixels. Then the background color, I'm going to give it RGBA. I'm going to use background colors 30, 16, okay, 186, and let's set the opacity to 0. I also want the background image using the URL address. Okay, inside the image folder, let's have a background for the background side image. Okay, This is the background for the sidebar on desktop view. So this is the image that I'm importing. Okay, let's have a look at after importing these images and making some changes. Or there you can see the background images now come out. Now we're going to style the circles, the div that contains the circles. Okay, let's set the position to relative. Let's have a background color of RGBA 220. Let's set this one to 20. Let's set this one to 60, and let's just reduce the opacity to 0. Then the width, let me give it 20%. Color of the text, I want it to be white. Then font weight, I'm going to give it 500. And then height, I'm going to set it to 50% of everything. Oh, okay, 50%. Then let's move the margin from the top by 15%. Display flexi direction. I'm going to set it to column along the from top to bottom. Then justify the content to space between. Align the items to the center. Let's have a view of how everything now looks like along it. There you can see the numbers have been aligned to the center. Now I want to style the inside the circles. I'm targeting the paragraph text. Margin to the top 10 pixels. Yes. Now let's style the individual circles. Okay. So let me just duplicate that to make my life simple, and also for other, yeah, to make my this will make my life simple. So just time to just drag the class names. Okay, so now let's start by styling the first circle. I'm going to give it a width of 40 pixels, height of 40 pixels. Then let's give it a border radius of 20 pixels. Then background color. Okay, no, I'm looking for RGB. To 55, to 55, to 55. Yeah, like this is our background color for background color. then border 1 pixel, solid white color, display flex, justify contents to center, then the color of the text shall be black. There you can see the circle of the first circle. Now I'm going to start the second circle. The color code, the coding looks almost the same, so I'm just going to copy this what we have done there. Then I'll make amendments. Okay, I'll set the width to 40 pixels, height to 40 pixels, border radius 20 pixels. Then the background color, I'm going to change it from white to make it almost colorless. Border 1 pixel solid, then display effects, justify content. Then the color of our text will be removed from black. Let's have a look at how the design now looks like. There you can see the color is almost like see-through. Then we are done with that one. We now go on to style the third circle. I'll set the width to 40 pixels, height 40 pixels, border radius 20 pixels. Then the color of for background color, I don't want it to be white. I want to make it almost see-through color. Then solid, then display flex, justify content. Then let's remove this one. Let's have a look at our design. There you can see. Now is the time to style the fourth circle. Okay, I can just copy these contents that I have here. Let me just copy them and paste them there. Okay, so I'm going to set the width to 40 pixels, height 40 pixels, border radius 20 pixels, background color transparent, border 1 pixel solid, 1 pixel white, then display flex and justify contents step. Then we are done with that one. While this, we're now going to style. Let me increase these ones because I need them. So while we are done with that one, let's now go on to style. The next stage is the steps. So that automatically means I'm going to collect these two class names. They are the most important ones. Okay, let me paste them here. Okay, so now let's start by styling the steps. Okay, I'm going to set the position to relative. Then I'll set the background color. I want it to be more like white, but then okay, to follow the color of white, follow the color codes of white with some alterations to 55. Display flex, flexi direction. I want it to be column. Justify the content to space between. Justify content to space between. Then width, I'm going to give it 60%. Height, I'm going to make it half to 50%. Then margin top From the top, we're going to push it away by 15%. Then margin to the left side on 0%. Now let's have a look at the changes that we have. Oh, they cheese, but if I can push it 10, let's say get it 10. Yeah, they can see I've pushed the steps away from the from the numbers, from the circles by 10%. Now let's start. Now let's go and start the individual steps. Step 1. Where I have it. So I'm going to say position, inherit, padding of the inner text, like the inner side, I'm going to set it to 5 pixels. Then background color, we're going to set RGBA. Okay, this is the color code for the background color. Then let there be no opacity. Now let's have a look at okay, yes, they'll start the step 1. Now let's start the steps, and I'm going to target the paragraph text. So I'm going to come here and say steps, then we target the paragraph text, margin from the bottom 0 pixels, margin from the top 0 pixels, then font size 14 pixels, then the color of the text HSL 231, then 11% and 63. Then also I'm going to target the span, the color of the text, I'm going to give it white. So let's have a look at the changes that we have applied. Or there you can see the changes have come out correctly. The step is, this is for the desktop view. Now once we are done with this one, okay, let me just duplicate this one. So once we're done with this one, we're going to start the step container. Okay, let me paste it here. For the step container, I'm going to change the background color first with the color code RGBA to 10. Width 50%, height 550 pixels, margin top auto, margin to the left auto, then margin to the right auto margin to the bottom, auto again. So let me have a look at if my changes will, oh, there you can see the step container is pushed, everything is set to margin auto. So next, after you're done with this one, I'm now going to style the IDs, the ID inside, like this one. Copy. Okay, we can delete this one. Hash info. Let me give display flex and flexi direction column. Okay, so once we are done with this one, I'm going to copy it so that I style other following ID numbers. Let me look. The next one that I'm going to style is the step plan. Yeah, this one is the ID that we want. Copy and place it there. Okay, I want to style the add on. Okay, I need to find the IDs add on. Okay, there is the next one that we are going to style is here. This is the add on. Then after styling the add on, we have to style step summary. Yeah, we have to style this one, this ID called step summary. Okay, let me have a look at how my project looks like. This. Okay, some of these things I don't want to display them initially. I want them to be not visible, so I'm going to set them for the, if you look at the design for the desktop, you can see that this text is not there, this select plan, this text is not initially there, so I need to by default to make it disappear or display to none. So this is where we do our display none. Then let's have a look. Yes, there you can see it's only the thank you that is visible, so I need to remove this one as well. To do that, we just have to copy again the same coding that we used, and we have to find the thank you where we can, yeah, step thank you, there is the ID. Just copy it and place it and replace it here. Okay, and let's have a look. Yes, it has disappeared. So but it's important that we put in some additional styling there. let's say align items to the center. This is for, and then margin from the top 150 pixels. Okay, step, thank you. I'm going to style the image, the image that is so there. I'm going to give it a width of 80 pixels. So let's take a look. If I say display flex, you can see how it now looks like, or they can see the text how it now looks like. But let me remove it. So by default it's on display none, so that it disappears like that one here. So we're done with that one. Now let me style the, put some extra styling on step info, step info, inputs, width we give it 100%, then height we give it 40 pixels, then border radius I'm going to set it to 5 pixels, then border, okay, for the border we are going to give it solid 1 pixel with a color code 103 92 92. Then let's reduce the opacity to 0.628. There you can see the input fields have actually changed in design. So we are going to start the bottom with the next buttons, for the buttons. So to do that, let's collect the class names. Okay, yeah, this is the class name for the button, for the bottom instruction buttons. Now, okay, let me place it inside there. Let's set the position to relative. Background color, it needs to change RGB 0.255 51 0. Then padding to the left, we need to push it 380 pixels. Then padding to the top, I'm going to give it 73 pixels. Yeah, there you can see I've moved it. So the next thing that we are going to do, I'm going to style the button container step 2. We are going to have to copy the same characteristics of button step 2. Okay, there it is, the button step 2. So let me display it flex, justify the content to space between. Then let's have a background color of RGBA 0255 51 0. Then padding to the top, let's move it 75 pixels. 75 pixels. Then let me copy the button step. This is the button step 2, so I'm going for the button step 3. Then also the button step 4. Copy it and place it there. Okay, let's just remove some unnecessary spacing. Okay, since we are done with that one, now is the time to put some amendments. So for the step 3, I'm just going to copy this code, the previous code. Display, we set it to flexi, justify corner space between background color. We use the same values, as well as the padding from the top. That I'm going to increase it to 80 pixels. Then we go for button step 3, display flex. Okay, let me paste the previous code. Then display flex, justify content space between RGBA, and then we just reduce the padding from the top to 39 pixels. Then here, once we are done with that one, we are going to copy these ones. Let me just increase them because I prefer it this way. So if I start this one, you're not going to see the button step 3 because it's currently set on display none. So let me go to button step 2. Let me style now. Okay, after styling this one, we are going to style the next step. Okay, I need to find what I'll style next. Okay, I need to find what I'm going to style next. Okay, let me create another new class. This is a new class that we are creating called next step. Okay, this is the class that we want to start. This one, it's actually this one. Okay, copy the next step class, and for the next step class, I'm going to have to put the padding all over. I'm going to set it to 15 pixels, 20 pixels, 15 pixels again, and 20 pixels. Width, I'm going to set it to 120 pixels. Then background color, I'm going to use HCL 213. Percentage is This one I'm going to reduce it by 4 to 96. Then this one you are also going to reduce this by 18. Color, let's give the color of the text to white. Then let's have a border radius of 5 pixels. Let's have a border solid 1 pixel RGBA 00. There you can see the next step is changed. The pattern for the next step is changed. The background border. Then I'm going to add a cursor. I'm going to say point cursor. I want a pointer. I want there to be a pointer. Then font size, let's increase it to 16 pixels. If you increase the font size, or there you can see it's looking beautiful. Okay, then I want to have something that will make everything look beautiful. So I'm going to say next step on hover. On hover, I want to change the background color. Okay, let's have the background color that we had here. So on hover, we're going to add HCLA. Then we're going to set this one to the initial one. We set it to 243. Then here we're going to have not 100%. Now we are done with this one. Let me check how the button step on hover looks like. There you can see the button changes color. Now we're going to start next to the add-on button. This one, just copy the class name and paste it there. Okay, I copied the wrong thing. Let me retry to copy. Okay, let's set display to flex, justify content, the space between, align items to the center, margin top 10 pixels, border. Okay, I want it to be solid 1 pixel with this color code. 24%. It's the color code that I want. Then border radius 10 pixels, height 80 pixels. Height should be 80 pixels. Then padding 0 pixel, 30 pixel, 0 pixels, 30 pixels. Then let's have a button on hover, add button on hover effect. Okay, I'm going to change the border on solid. This is the color code that I want to change on hover every time when I hover through the cursor. I want to be solid. Okay. Let's temper with the percentages, 27% and 52%. Now we're going to style the add button paragraph tags. Margin top 2 pixels, then margin from the bottom 2 pixels, then margin to the left 20 pixels. Then I also want the font weight to be bold. So let's, okay, since we've set it to display none, that's why we can't see it. Then let's have the span button, add button, span. This is the text that I'm targeting. Margin to the left, let me target 20 pixels, then font size 15 pixels. Then after I've done with this one, we would want to style the regroup class name, this class name, copy it, paste it there. Let's set display to flex. Okay, let me increase this ones. Then after, we are going to start next the plan month. We've already the plan month class. Okay, this is the class name that I want. This is what we are going to start next. So inside we say display flex, and then justify the content to space between. Then we also want to start next with the plan button next. Display to flex. Then we set the flexi direction column. Border radius 10 pixels. Then width 30%. Then height 200 pixels. Let's have a border solid 1 pixel with the color code 24%. This is the color code for our border. Then the background color, I'm going to set it to white. Then I also want a cursor. That will be a pointer. Then I'm going to look at every time when I hover through the plan button. So we want the hover effect to be there. The border during the target is going to be solid 1 pixel with a color code of 213. Okay, let's reduce this one from 900 to 96%, and we also reduce this one to 18%. Then plan button, I'm going to target the image. Yes, this image that is inside the button. Just copy it and margin top, we want to set it to 14 pixels. Then margin to the left, we are going to set it to 8 pixels. After I've done that one, let's target the plan button. Paragraph text, this one. We're going to have a font size of 18 pixels. Then margin to the top of 50 pixels. Then margin to the left of 8 pixels. Then margin to the bottom 8 pixels. Then once you're done with this one, let's style the plan button. Okay, the plan button that I'm going to style the this plan button. Okay, let's see. We start this paragraph. So let's go for the one that is missing. This span there, this one, it needs to be styled as well. It cannot go with this. So this one, what we do here is that margin left 8 pixels. Then the color of, we want it to be HSL 231, 11 pixels, 63%. Okay, I want to add another new class name. This is just for the one that will come out when we do our JavaScript. This is an additional class. Let's save a cursor pointer, margin to the left 8 pixels, then font size 12 pixels. Also, let's add okay, I'll also want to add a new class name, a new ID. Okay, yes, let's add a new ID. Okay, I want this one. Let me add, let's just collect this ID, this ID. Remember, when you are collecting an ID, you need to use the hash. Okay, so the color code for this ID HSL 231, 11%, then 63%. Also, you want to set. Now let's style the switch. Yes, this class name. This switch that will switch from either the yearly or the annually. Okay, so I'm going to set justify content center. I want it at the center of the page. Then display flex width. I want it to be as large as possible along the width. Then height, I want it to be very visible. That's why I'm pushing it to 58 pixels. Yeah, this is not visible initially because we are going to, it's on the, like you can see, the switch is found on this last name, so it's not visible. I've set it to display none, but there you can see it will be over here. So once we are done with styling our switch button, okay, if you look at the design, it says got the background color of blue, so I need to put a background color. It's just, so this is the blue color, like this is the color code for the blue color that is required by the from the challenge. Then also, if you look from the design, the corners are cut, so I need to put a border radius of 10 pixels. Then also, if you look at the margin from the top, I'm going to push it to 25 pixels. Let me just make my code look smarter. This was untidy, so that everybody who can benefit can see clearly. Let me increase these ones. Now after styling this one, we're now targeting the check, the label. This is for the label. So let's come and style it. Display inline block. Then position relative width, I'm going to give it 40 pixels. Then height, I'm going to give it 20 pixels. Then cursor, I want to give it pointer. Then overflow, I'm going to set it to hidden. Then margin to the top, we are going to give it to 15 pixels. Then margin to the left, we are going to give it 10 pixels. Margin to the right, we're going to set it to 10 pixels. Okay, once we are done with this one, let me come and let's start the check. We have got the inputs inside the label, so this is what we're going to start next. Let's save the position to absolute. Let's move it to the top, minus 3 pixels. From the left, minus 30 pixels, width 0, height 0. Check input plus span. Position absolute, top 0, bottom 0, left 0, then from the right 0. Background, let's save the color code for the background color. Just to 18. Then let's set it to 96. Then let's set it to 18. For the radius 20 pixels. Once we're done with that one, let's every time when look, I need to find let's just do some normal styling. Okay, this is just like log into this is just dummy data. It's just some dummy data. Yeah, there we are. This is where we are now. So I need to find a perfect match. So every time when I check, you can see that the color code changes. So this is what we are going to change every time when we check. When the button is checked, every time when the button is checked, so I have to say check dot span dot input. The input is the one that is checked. Check when the input is checked. this one. The background color is going to change. The background color is going to change to this color. Now we're going to set the check input plus span before. So I just need to come before. Okay. Before, let's set the content to empty. Then let's set display to inline log. Then position absolute. Then from the top, let's give it 50%. Then to the left side. Okay. Okay, let's temporarily move this one. Then from the left side, I'm going to give it 4 pixels. Then width, let's set the width to 12 pixels. Then let's have a height of 12 pixels again. Then let's have a background color of white. I want to make it look circular, so I'm going to set the border radius to 50%. Then transform, instead of border bottom, I'm going to use transform along the y-axis of minus 50%. Then transition, oh, 0.5 seconds. Okay, we're done with this one. Now we want to also do this one before. Once unchecked to before. Checked to before, so it's not the one that we copied. Yeah, this one. Copy to before to unchecked before. Check input plus on once unchecked to the span before. So let's set the okay, let me push it to the left by 24 pixels. Then let's start the free class name. I'm going to set the margin from the top to 10 pixels. Now we're going to collect some IDs. Okay. The ID that I want is plan yearly. Okay, this is for the class for the free that we just added. So I now want to go for the ID plan yearly. Plan year display, set it to none by default, and justify the content to space between. Then add. Okay, we want to find the add on year, add on annually. This is the class name that we are going to style next. Just copy it. By default, we will display it to none. Flexi direction column. Then after we're done with this one, I want to style this ID. I'm going to say flexi direction column. Then we are going to have a resume yearly. Okay, these ID names I have to find. Okay, resume year. We have to style the resume yearly. Resume yearly. Then I have to set it to display by default to none, as well as the flexi direction. We're going to set it to column. Then after I've done it, that one, let's start this one. Container resume, let's set the width to 80%, height to 15 pixels. Then the background color, I'm going to say we are going to use HCL codes 229 degrees, 28, 96. Padding 1 pixel, 30 pixels, 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Border radius 10 pixels. Then after done with this one, let's style the button container. Button, copy, border, none, background color, RGB 250. Then let's reduce the opacity. I've set it to 0. Then let's set the text decoration. To underline. Then let's have a cursor. Heading left. Let's push it to 0 pixel. Then container, resume. Okay, container, resume. I'm going to start the button. Button on over. Let's have the color of the text to change. CO 243 to 62%. Dots. Container, resume. We're going to start the H4 text. Margin bottom. Let's set it to 0 pixels. Then container, resume. Container, resume, span. Copy the spans. Let's set it to display block. And let's set the margin to the top. 0 pixels. Let's have a height of 1 pixel. Let's have a background color of HCL. (231°), 18%, and 88. We're done with that one. Let's start the flexi resume. Display flex, justify content to space between, then flexi resume label. Let's set our display to flexi, and then let's also align the items to the center. This is, remember, this is the, if you go, okay, let me do this. Yeah, this is a page that we are on. So I've set the label to align items to the center. Yeah, this is the label. This is the label that I'm looking for. The label that has got the, these are the labels that we are styling. So we have set up. Now let's style this class name flexi total. Let's set display to flexi. Justify content to space between. Then align the items to the center. Then padding. I'm going to set it to 0 pixels all over. Then margin 15 pixels from the top, then 0 pixels to the left, 0 pixels to the bottom, 0 pixels to the right. When we gonna put, we're having a width of 80%. Okay, on the padding, let me push this one from the top to 1 pixel, then flow to the left 20 pixel, then for the bottom I want it to be 10 pixels, then to the left side I want it 20 pixels, then border radius, let's have a border radius of 10 pixels, and we are done with that one. So let's tell the flexi total span, this span that I want to style it. I'm going to have to set the font size to 20 pixels, then also the color HSL 243. Then after that one, we are going to add the step. We want to style the step add on. Okay, I should find it. Okay, we are going to say step add on this class name. So we are going to add on, then we style the input on checked. Unchecked, I want the color to become blue. Then we also want to style the go back, this class name for the go back, to make it more visible, this one. So we are going to have to go inside our styling and we just add this one. Okay, so I'm going to set it to border none. Then I'm also going to set a cursor pointer. Then I'm going to have a background color for RGBA 255 255 255 0. Then I'm going to style the font size to 16 pixels. Then the color of the text, we are going to have in Excel 231, and 63%. Let's look at our design, how it now looks like. Yeah, you can see that is a bit not visible. Yeah, it's not visible, so I need to enter the figures. Let's say I Vinesa, let's say in tempora, which is just dummy data. Then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Oh, there you can see we have started the go big button. I think you can see it clearly. There we have good. We have started the button. So if I look at my one that I'm doing, let me just move dummy 8. Let me Yeah, we're not yet done with JavaScript, so it cannot come out. But if you look at it, this is color code that I wanted. So once we're done with that one, we are going to style the dollar. We are going to style the dollar class. Copy this one. So let's style the dollar. Margin to the left minus 239 pixels. And yeah, flexi direction. Let's add some flexi direction column. Then we are going to, like you can imagine that on the first page, let's say go back. Remember, these are, I want to start with these ones, these errors when they come out, this field required. So we're going to start with this error messaging that we want. I want to start this error messaging, so I just have to go inside my file, and for me to start styling, I'm going to style the error message. So we are going to have to use the ID name that is here. So the error name, you can see the color is red. Then the font size is 12 pixels. So let me just, there you can see, as you can see, the color is red and the font size is 12 pixels. So that's what I'm doing inside my JavaScript. So let me just duplicate it, because we're going to be having 3. So this one is the error name, then the second one is the error number. Okay, this one is not the error, this is the error num. So like this one inside my coding. So if you copy this one, then you just change it here. Then after that one, error name, I've got the error mail. Like this one is the error mail, like this one. Then this one is of course the error number, because we have got numbers that are supposed to be inputted. So like this one, then we collect the class name and we go inside our styling CSS. Okay, like this. Then we go inside our styling CSS. The third one is for the number, yeah, like this one. So we're done with this one. Then nextly we are going to style the flex error class name. Just take it and style it here. Display flexi. This is the container that will wrap up all the error messages and text align center. Then justify the content to space between. Then we also want to style this span inside our class name flex error. Okay, let's push the padding from the top of 19 pixels. Okay, so we are done with this one. Let's have a look at how, let's have a look at how the design will look like. But the error message is not be able to load because temporarily we don't have JavaScript. So please, this is for the desktop view. I've been coding everything for the desktop view. So please come on to the next video and join me as I will be doing the mobile view. Like you can see from our design, we need these things to be displayed along the from top to bottom. That's a mobile view. If you look at my design, let's say I want to inspect it, there you can see I need to have a mobile view that looks like this one. So please join me in the next video as I'll be doing the mobile view.